What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Brutal Planet Comics. I'm your host, Trey the Brew Daniels. Here with some more news. Happy Thursday to you all. The Mandalorian Season 3 is finally in the books, and I gotta say, it was a heck of a chore to get through. From the insane, lazy writing to character development that didn't make any sense, to some really flashy action sequences that end up going nowhere, this was really a chore. And it looks like the fans, the ones that are still around anyway, have finally hit the apathy wall that so many other Star Wars franchises have hit. The sequel trilogy, nobody cares about that stuff and everything. But I found this article by The Direct, and shouts to my homie Adam the Renaissance Nerd for putting me onto this. From The Direct, The Mandalorian Season 3 finale gets mixed reactions from fans. Here's why. And the reason why it's mixed is because it's apathy. So let's get down to the meat and potatoes and figure out what the heck went wrong. Fans seem to have mixed reactions to the Season 3 finale of The Mandalorian. Mandalorian was regarded by many fans to be one of the best pieces of Star Wars media since the original trilogy after Season 2 was released on Disney+. There is a section of the fan base that will agree with that. Absolutely. I thought it was very good. However, now the entirety of Season 3 is out on the streaming platform, audience demand for the show dipped to new lows, and viewers don't seem to be as invested as they were in previous seasons. It's true. It's true. It's they ruined it. They killed their own cash cow. And let me tell you when it was ruined. The moment you reunited Grogu and Din Djarin in the Book of Boba Fett, you have literally killed your cash cow. Because now the emotional weight that was carried into Season 2 about Luke's return and all that stuff, it is now rendered moot. You killed everybody's joy. Not to mention, a whole bunch of people that watched The Mandalorian didn't even watch the Book of Boba Fett. So they were already confused off the jump, and normies are not going to stick around if they are not immediately invested. So they pretty much cut their own legs off. I thought it would be cool to look at some of the fans' reactions. We'll start here at Mama's Geeky. They said, Season 3 ended well, but that the episode as a whole feels too final for a show still set for a fourth season on Disney+. Okay, that's one way of looking at it. And it does end in a way in which, this is the last journey. So yeah, I will agree with Mama's Geeky there. Looking at Darko, said the Season 3 was mid and felt that there was no emotion throughout Season 3 as a whole, and especially while watching the finale. Now, once again, we have a same synopsis. Feels too small. Mid. No emotional reactions. Do you know why? Because apathy has set in. People don't care anymore. And they are not influencing any form of emotion from these good people. The article continues. Some fans seems to feel that there was a lot of setup throughout Season 3 of The Mandalorian that never paid off at any point in the last two episodes. Now that I would disagree. I don't think that anything was set up. I think they just threw a bunch of nonsense there and just let it lay. I really think there was no plan. There was nobody trying to accomplish anything. That's just my thoughts. I thought they were just throwing crap at the wall. But we got Jay Jalen that said, there were so many things from the season that went absolutely nowhere. Once again, I have to agree. Scott Designs also said the finale was an absolute waste of time due to nothing being paid off in the episode. Look, I respect their thoughts here. It's true. It's true, especially with the quality that we have been expecting for this show to carry. This joint did nothing. It's bad. It's a bad season, and it really breaks my heart. Look at this quote here. Absolutely waste of time, honestly. So many things built up across the season, and nothing's paid off in the finale. Great action scenes, but in terms of story, nothing unexpected and nothing rewarding as a viewer. Very sad to see. Agreed. I've got no defense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Roland Creative said, Don't know how to feel about this episode. Oh, Jesus Christ. Apathy. We got Joey Clark. Finale was decent, who also felt as though Grand Admiral Thrawn should have been teased at some point in the episode due to his looming presence over the entire Mandoverse. And I'll have to agree with that. I personally don't want to see Heir to the Empire be butchered, but this is the reality that we're living in. It's going to be butchered. But they're right. If this is supposed to be the next big bad, the next Thanos level threat, there's no lead-in. They're right. They're right. Lefty Jr. Gaming. Enjoyed the fight scenes in Season 3 finale, even if the episode as a whole felt a little rushed. Yes, it was actually pretty short. It was like 30 minutes long. The longest episode was episode 3, which was like 45 minutes. We spent like 37 of it with Dr. Pershing and Butch Broad. The pacing, the writing, the direction, it all fell flat this season. But ultimately, why did this thing fall flat? Let's take a look at this part of the article. Many viewers also seemed disappointed with the latest episode due to how quick the pacing was. The runtime was only 41 minutes, including the credits, and so much happened in a short amount of time. The disappointment with the pacing is also likely due to how slow the rest of the Season 3 moved at times. Following the release of other episodes, many fans felt that there were a lot of filler moments. I could not agree more. The overwhelming majority of this season was filler. We had the Jack Black nonsense with Lizzo, had the Dr. Pershing thing that went absolutely nowhere. We had the saving of the kid from the pterodactyl, which I personally enjoyed that episode because it was just simple lasers and dinosaurs, and that's what I pretty much came here for, because I'm not expecting any good story, because I already know what modern Star Wars is. But for, the general fan, they're looking to be deeply enriched and entertained by their Star Wars content, and it's not happening here. And to have all that filler wasted, and then the last 2 episodes be the story, is absolutely unacceptable for so many people. And that's why so many people have checked out, and the apathy is completely set into this fan base on The Mandalorian, and it's really, really sad to see. So ultimately, what do I think about The Mandalorian Season 3? This was a disappointment. I personally was a fan of the first 2 seasons of this show. I really enjoyed them. I enjoyed the callbacks. I loved how it felt small, spaghetti western. I was completely into this. The derailing of this show by Kathleen Kennedy and by shoehorning Grogu back into the Book of Boba Fett, which was a show that sucked and nobody watched, which then destroyed their flagship show. Honestly, the best Star Wars that we've had, I'll go on a limb and say it, since the original trilogy. I'll go on record in saying it. It was well paced. It was characters I was invested in. Like, there's a lot of prequel sympathizers, okay? A lot of people are like, oh, the prequels are actually very good. The prequels were not good movies, okay? There was a lot of good things in those films that they can take away from. Clone Wars, cool lightsaber battles, but the character development was garbage and the stories were nonsense. Let's stop the lies. The prequels were not good films. I know there is nostalgia goggles, but this was the first legitimate on-screen best Star Wars we've gotten. As far as live action is concerned, I also like Clone Wars, but this Season 3 has completely derailed the show. It's derailed this was the Star Wars last surviving hope, and they have destroyed it. And now the fan base has been completely apathetic, and it shows by the viewership numbers dropping. And you saw all the comments of these people that were just saying, I don't know how to feel, it's mid, because they cannot articulate the fact that they no longer feel the same way about Star Wars. It's the reality. It's been butchered. It's been beat. And now we have the honestly one of my favorite Star Wars in recent decade. My favorite Star Wars shows is dead as well. And it breaks my heart to see how this Season 3 has completely destroyed The Mandalorian. So those are my thoughts. What do you think about the entire Season 3 of The Mandalorian? Let me know in the comment section below. And do all those great YouTube things. Like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. As always, you guys have been awesome, and I'll catch you all next time. Also, if you want to support my channel, check out spinwiz.com or download the Spinwiz app and check out my comic series, Treble. It was written with a lot of love, and it was definitely my favorite comic series to write. I've also written it in English and in Spanish, so whatever floats your boat, I got it for you. Thanks again, and check it out.